So,
Man.
in case you've never seen it before, this is what Corey looks like when he's checking the interwebs.
Yes. Man, my internet is crawling. Am I frozen right now?
No, you're crawling too, but it's okay.
I am frozen, aren't I? Son of a bitch.
Yeah, you keep popping in and out. It's okay. I can run the gratitudes today. Do that. But yeah, Savior Bandit. So how are you, man? Did you have a nice weekend? I mean, it was a bit crazy. We, as most of you out there know, we kicked off the gratitude state sale. I thought it was pretty cool. I did another pop-up stream yesterday with Javier. You and I jumped on the stream on Saturday for some coverage. But yeah, I thought it went really well. What was your take?
Yeah, that was great. I think the auctions on some of the bigger ones, I think people were a little intimidated by them. I was too, frankly, because I was really worried about locking up that much wax and then having it not be able to get anything. So I wonder if other people felt the same way. I ended up I don't even know if I won the other auction yesterday. I'll find out.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I went in today. There was a lot that were gone. There was a few that were still there. So, but for the most part, I think it went really well.
Yeah.
I guess you have an update on what happened to the ones that didn't. Sell.
I did get that other one.
Oh, nice. Which one did you get? What was it called?
I think it was the bunny rabbit one.
Oh, nice. That's a cool one.
Yeah. So that's
awesome.
a thing that just happened.
Nice.
Not mad about that. Yeah. So now, I spent a while yesterday talking to TC about starting to build the survival world empire.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun, right?
Here's what I want to do, because I think TC will be a good potential buyer, but I'm seeing tree farms, Jimmy. I'm seeing I'm gonna need help. How many estates are left? That's a good question. I think we're actually gonna spin them around and just put them on sale now. And so I'll get some good information on that. I'm not 100% sure. But they'll instead of being auctions, I think we'll just turn them around and put them on sale for the base price. They can go when they go.
Yeah, they all got pulled off today, but it's just mostly because our team on the back end was organizing and orchestrating shit for the next.
Yeah, they're
phase,
setting up for the pack drop now. So yeah, I would imagine we'll probably put those back on sale at some point. But yeah. Oh, by the way, if anybody else wants on the uplist, if you're not on the uplist yet, we've got a little Jimmy and Corey, we get to do whatever the fuck we want because the show. It's not true at all, but I like to say it. Anyway, so if anybody else wants on the uplist for the pack drop today, just let me know. We've got about an hour before they're going to finalize that. So
yeah, so I think you guys went through daylight savings time this weekend.
It's a trauma.
Yeah, I didn't, so it's actually an hour later for me than normal. So yeah,
sorry,
but
man.
But
no,
that's
really screws you over.
No, it's all right. I don't mind. It's for now it's okay.
All right.
9 a.m. is our time, So
cool. Yeah, if you guys, anybody who wants in the uplist, just fire your Twitter or Telegram at. Let me know which one it is, and your wax address in the comments, and I'll put you on while we're on the show. Because I can.
So yeah, I had a busy weekend. I had a busy weekend with the uplift as well. But our team had a busy weekend getting set up. So that I obviously the next sale. That's what I was kind of leading into because my time's all messed up. I think it's 12 noon on Monday, right? Is that what time we're doing it? No. So what time is the sale in Eastern Standard Time?
The pack drop? I can't remember.
I think it's 12 noon. I think
so too, but I want to confirm. I kind of took a bunch of the day off yesterday. So I don't want to fuck around until I actually know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm pretty sure we'll get it to you.
Jimmy, you know that show we're gonna do where we inform people about what's going on?
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So genius. Hey, what's how many estates left? I don't know. Hey, when's the big pack drop today? Something o'clock. We'll figure it out.
Well, I went through a bunch of these states today,
So
actually,
funny.
to see what went and what didn't. I was pondering buying one. In the end, I didn't, because I decided that I'm going to hold out for the area of the states that I really want. However, I haven't 100% completely decided. If they get flipped and those prices are up there, I might do something. But yeah, I did something new this weekend. I decided to branch out a little bit. Our community is awesome. Don't get me wrong. But
so
I
you're
wanted
branching out. You're cheating on us with another community.
I wanted to show people out there in the rest of the world what amazing things our community is doing. So I wrote a little article that I posted over on Loop, which is a project that I was affiliated with. Now they're part of the Terra blockchain, but they've been around for a long time. They've got a big community. They've got people writing about Bitcoin, Ethereum, other things as well. And I basically broke down all of the blogs or all of the articles that have ever been put on our site, and I put links there to them. And the response is pretty good. A lot of people liked it, and a few people read it, so that's kind of cool. I want people to see the builds. And then I got to thinking, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this for a few projects that I really care about, but I'm going to start here at home with the Uplift. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys to help me. I'm going to ask you guys to incentivize me to incentivize you, basically.
Good.
And so what I'm going to do, and I'm going to write an official post about this, and I put something in the Discord earlier today, if you scroll up back far enough. But I just so happen to have a whole bunch of Loop R tokens. Now, Loop R tokens, they're a social token that you can stake, and you can get a few airdrops. And they have some DeFi elements to them as well, but it's a new protocol, so it's a little bit volatile, right? Like as always, so be careful on that side of things. But if you guys go and you write an article, any article about the Uplift in a week, and you post it in the Discord and you tag me or you send me a DM with it, I'm going to send you some Loop R tokens. And I'm not talking like a few Loop R tokens, like I'm talking like a good chunk of Loop R tokens that would take you a long time to earn on the site with other articles. So yeah, that's what I want, because I want you guys to start putting out articles about what we're doing here in the Uplift, because I can't keep up. Corey can't keep up. We can't keep up on this channel. We can't keep up on this show. And more people need to know all the amazing things that are going on. So I'm going to kick this off, with the Uplift. Probably in a couple weeks' time, I'm going to, add some other projects to it, maybe Blue Duck or things like that. But we need to be branching out from our little localized community here and getting some content out there, because as you guys all know, we might be on Wax, we might be on Minecraft, but this platform, this metaverse, is chain agnostic. We've got tons of people in here with showcasing Ethereum builds, showcasing different, projects all over the place. Tons of people coming on this channel that are talking about other blockchains. And so this is, my early Christmas gift, from Jimmy D and Corey to you, basically is to go and kill it out there. And I'm gonna give you some Loop R tokens that you can drop in your account. You can do whatever you want with, really. But that's my plan by the end of the week. I'm not going to tell you how much, because honestly, like I looked today, I had an idea in my head, and when I plugged those into the swap, I was like, holy shit, that's way too much. I'm not giving that much money away. So I cut it in half, and it still might be too much. I'm not sure. I'm still pondering, but it was a good chunk.
You just have too much roll, and you're like, well, sorry.
Right. Well, the last thing I want to do is like kill the market, right? So I have to kind of
it's weird when you get put in that position, right? Like we have to be judicious about that. That's something that we're coming to terms with very quickly at Blue Duck, because I think it could be argued that we gave out too much in the first month.
Maybe.
But at the same time, we had to start somewhere, right? So like it kind of like neither here nor there kind of thing. And we set the numbers up for this arc a long time ago, and it's all designed to be super long term deflationary anyway. So it's kind of like
wow.
But it's fun to kind of see what happens.
And the other thing is, like, one of the nice self-balancing things that's going to happen is like there's going to be a ship or a rocket that goes to another blockchain, and those ones are going to be off of Wax, right? So that kind of is going to, have that counterbalancing effect of bringing those token levels on Wax down as well, right?
Yeah. Well, and like we're already planning. I want to announce it as quickly as possible, but we're going to be sending a rocket to BSC soon too.
Sweet.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, BSC is doing well. It's doing crazy.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, we have rockets going back and forth, and by the end of the day, I mean like when everything is working.
Right.
I have a weird theory, Jimmy. What do you think about who Raoul Paul is, right? I think that's his name.
I do know who Raoul Paul is.
Right, the big he's like a big macroeconomics guy.
Yeah.
Does like the real vision guy. Very smart guy. So he was saying that and I think you probably Google that. I think the article came out this morning. I've been telling everybody with the listen. Even I was talking to Tuttle yesterday about the fact that like, everybody's getting tired at the uplift. I'm like, yeah, me too. And like to the point where like my wife was like, hey, it looks like your body's literally trying to like just break down on you. Maybe you should sleep more. I'm like, no. Right. And I keep telling everyone like, I feel like there's 89 days left. And that's not like a real number, but like 90 days left in this bull market. And so like everything we do now is literally going to be worth 20 to 100 times what we do a year from now. And I still think that's true. But what what Paul was saying was that he's looking at the rates at which people are starting to stake Ethereum, right? Because they're going into proof of stake.
Right.
And that clearly is helping the transaction costs. I mean, the transaction costs are really, really good. If you're a fucking lunatic, I'm still like I still spent. Like Hustle was like, hey, I'm gonna release a whole bunch of pictures from the event, and I'm gonna release them for $1. Sorry about the transaction costs on Ethereum. I'm like, I'm not fucking spending $200 to give you $1 on Ethereum. Like it's just like. Oh, but it's for history, though. Yeah, everything on Wax is history. Everything on Polygon is history. Like, it just, like, it's like, I get that you made $1 million on Ethereum, and I don't know what he made, but it was fucking lots. He's done really, really well, right? And so, like, why wouldn't you want to stick around there? To him, $100 is probably like, go fuck yourself. He probably doesn't even notice that anymore, which is great for him. I fucking love that guy, and he deserves every tiny little bit of success that he gets forever. But I just can't bring myself to do it. Anyway, so, obviously, transaction costs are not coming down just yet. And probably won't, in my humble opinion. Hopefully they will prove me wrong. Anyway, he's saying like that Raoul Paul guy's sorry for the diatribe.
No.
The regression, as it were. He's saying that the bull market could last really easily into March. And chances are though that it would go the path of Max Payne to get there. Now, a couple things on this. If we see Bitcoin run up to like 250,000 in December. Like if it gets to that like number goes straight up insanity, my whole take is like I'm selling anyway, right? Like because you can't hold that to the bottom, which is for the record what I did with most of my stuff last cycle, right? I just wasn't prepared for that. So like it creates an interesting conundrum where, I think if it grinds up in the way that it's doing now, and in the way that it likely will over the next month, and create some good retracing on the way up, putting in like really, really awesome higher lows, then, I'd probably stick around for it. But yeah, it's a little worrisome. And granted, like what happens when, and I think this is inevitable now, Ethereum, flips Bitcoin and Bitcoin's market cap.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's inevitable. By the way, TC, okay, you should have him on the show. We totally would. He's a pretty busy dude. If anyone knows him and thinks that, he'd be all right coming on our show, I'd have him on the show at the drop of a hat. He's a super freaking smart guy.
Who did? So never mind. I know who we can get. That's almost valuable, but not quite. No. I should reach out to. Crypto blood, and he knows a couple like really good investor type of people that I think would be really fun for us to have on. Max Kaiser, I think, is like his friend and stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, things are coming into that phase now, right? And like, I mean, and again, like, we joke about not investing advice or whatever, but for real, we cannot make the decisions for you that are going to come up in the next 60 to 180 days. We can't.
Fuck, I'm not even going to be able to make them for myself. Don't ask me to make them.
Did you see the where we hide all the alpha.com though?
Yes, I did. Yeah. So
It works.
You guys, it works. What you guys should do is go into your web browser and type in where we hide the alpha.com.
Where we hide all the alpha.
Where we hide all the alpha.com.
Yeah. And you can also go to the upliftroadmap.com.
Nice. Nice. And there's some fun stuff there.
Indeed.
So yeah, I'm like, I was reading an article today, and it's amazing. Like somebody again was talking about the stock to flow thing, right?
Yeah,
and I think
you
know what the stock to flow thing is, right?
Yeah.
And like it's
shockingly accurate.
It's shockingly accurate for no reason other than it's shockingly accurate, right? Like,
well,
there is a reason behind it, but like it could all just go away anytime, but it hasn't until this point, right? Which is really
here's what I think is important to understand. They fit the stock to flow ratio algorithm to the history of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they basically pick a number like what's the key to this algorithm, hey puppy, that makes it all fit. Mm-hmm. And it's true that it's sort of a regressive analysis in that way, right? But it clearly fits all the data. I was looking at it in 2015 and it fit all the data, and in 2018 it fit all the data, and now it fits all the data. So that's not a coincidence, right?
It's not.
And so what we would have to decide what has changed in the way that Bitcoin is issued and in the flows of it, subject that it would destroy all of the other patterns that had come before it. And like, I don't think like, oh, institutional investors, blah, 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 blah. I don't think that has anything to do with it enough to affect that same thing, right? If the number of active wallets keeps going up and the number of transactions keeps going up or stays consistent, then the price will have to go up, right? Because there's less of it coming out all the time and more people coming on board all the time, right? It's just like, it's super basic supply and demand economics.
Yeah, I'm just amazed that like it's held up so well, because I wasn't expecting it to do that. So I guess my question was, I was thinking about it and like, what happens? So maybe you partly answered this, but what happens now if we do go to the super cycle phase, right? Like if we do get into this not just regular 4-year cycle, if we get into this super cycle, I think that it's going to be really interesting. And I also think that like, I think if we go super cycle, where it's longer than people are projecting, it's going to be even more maddening than it was in 2018.
This is honestly, this is like a bit of a concern for me, frankly, right? Because like I have I think a good plan just personally for how I'm going to, handle like a normal, running into January, right? And you can read the charts to a certain degree. Like basically when the market becomes deeply irrationally bullish is when I will be forced to start selling. That's just like a rule of mine, right? It's like, when our planet was peaking or whatever, like I was selling 50% of my Aether the whole time because not doing it is insane, right? But yeah, so this is what happens. Because I remember last time, and it even happened this year, right? Bitcoin drops by like 50%. Everyone's like, oh my God, the sky's falling. And CNBC's like, oh, Bitcoin's dead again. Right? And like all the same buy signals that we've seen a million times. People got genuinely afraid. And like everybody who's been here for more than 10 minutes is like, yeah. Grab some popcorn. You're fine. Right? And like it literally, we see this all the time. So what happens when it goes to like 150,000 and drops back down to 70, which is like, in no way, shape, or form impossible, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really, it's going to be really interesting, and there's going to be a lot of people who go through a lot of pain. And I hope it's not you guys. I hope it's not anyone that hangs out here. I mean, I'm pretty modest, to be honest. But...
Right, the easiest way to do it is to just hold the entire time and sell it next year.
Right, that's kind of
what not next cycle, not next year, because next year might be a terrible idea.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. He's in making an empire in the uplift while we're all talking about the price of Bitcoin. I guarantee he's probably doing that right now.
That's probably what saved me, actually, was the last round, was in here making an empire in a way, not necessarily in here, but like with you and our show. I released another article today. I'm going to do this as well. I put together another article because I thought, you know what? I just want to go and I want to, showcase people what you and I do every week. So I put together this other piece, and I want to bring people in from other blockchains. I think that they deserve to see what we're going to do. And I think like it'll be a nice compliment because we're starting to head out to other blockchains. So as we head out to other blockchains, I want to see other people from other blockchains come to us as well. So that's what I've been working on for the last like 2 or 3 days, right? And
Cool.
having some really interesting success. But I think, it's yeah, like, so there's a lot of weird things happening in the background that are just kind of seeming to align, which I think is really interesting, right? Like, it's funny that you mentioned TC because we were talking to TC today about like putting some portals into gratitude. We're going to set up a gratitude hub where we're going to kind of try to implement his idea as well about, it actually being the hub, like, because, where I want to be is where people come in and are able to read and see things that are in the uplift while they're in the uplift, right? Ironically enough, I had a conversation with Digital Acid today, and he's like, hey, I did this thing, and I was like, dude, like the builds that you're making in Genesis are awesome of all your characters. And I made a bit of a joke and he didn't get it. And he reached out to me in the DM and he's like, what's going on? I don't understand what you're saying. And I'm like, it's all right. It was just a bad joke, but congratulations, because he just released some, new awesome blue thing with an uplift skin attached to it as well. And we got talking and he's like, by the way, Corey said to talk to you. And I'm like, huh? About what? He's like, I don't know. He just said to talk to you. And we were trying to figure out what it was. And about three and a half, 3 minutes into the conversation, we figured it out. And I was just like, holy shit, that's perfect, right? Like an old idea that I had that we were working on is a new idea that he has that he's working on. So we're going to implement that. I think that's going to be really cool.
Was it good?
Oh yeah, it's really good.
I talked to too many people about too many things.
It has to do with art. A lot.
Oh yeah. But he literally like had the same idea that you were actively working on, like 6 months ago. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And with the same people too. Did he tell you about that, Jimmy?
Yeah, with the same people, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just that idea, and this is what I love about really good ideas. You can let them go fallow for a little bit. The ones that are begging to be real will keep bugging you.
Right. Yeah. So we're gonna re-implement it in a whole new way, which is gonna be pretty awesome.
Right. NBA Top Shot Insider. Good morning. How does Bitcoin gains affect Wax? That's my main question. So there's a couple things that happen with these cycles, and we'll see if it happens again. Like I think it's kind of a no-brainer. But results may vary, right? None of this is certain, of course. But you can imagine if you're sitting in Bitcoin and Ethereum and they go up 2, 3, 4x, and you're a trader or you're an investor, you're looking, okay, if Bitcoin's 100 grand, you might get a 2x out of it, maybe a 2.5, right? But you could be looking down at Wax and be like, oh man, that's a 10. That's a 10x easy. Right. And so what we see is these big run-ups in the majors, and then the alts tend to follow. This is not for sure, in any way, shape, or form, just because it's the wisdom of crowds sometimes is and sometimes isn't. So you never know really what's going to happen. But that we've seen that happen many, many times over and over and over again. So I expect to see at least some of that. But I think that Wax is only now starting to get speculative interest. And I think that we're going to see a lot of times when over the next 90 days, Wax starts to do really well while the rest of the market is coming down.
Yeah, there was a nice drop today, which was good for me because that was my entry point for a bit because I've been running thin because I've been buying too much shit on Wax. So it's like,
damn it, I have ideas that are bugging me. Man, get them, write them down, get some help, make them real. Wax price prediction, top of the bull cycle. I have 2 different versions of this answer, and I'll give you both of them. They both scare me, in good ways. Top Shot Insiders. Is that Brad? I feel like Wax in current hasn't hit price discovery yet. I completely agree. I think it hasn't even begun. Daniel Day, top of this bull market at $1. I think it's going to be $1 this month. So my minimum price for the top of this bull cycle is all-time high, which is $250, $3, depending on how you read the chart. Plus a little bit, so like maybe $4, maybe $5. Again, the all-time high last cycle was again like $250, $3, because I think there was some like weirdness at the beginning. Anders, any observation was telling us about it. But I think like what's actually reasonable is for it to hit all-time high and then 10x, which would be what's 10 times $2.50 there, Jimmy?
Well, that would be $25 there.
$25.
Yeah.
So I think way sillier products have achieved in price far more. And that like no guarantees, right? Because like the market is under no obligation to be rational, as I'm sure most of you have figured out. It just isn't. So we'll see. But yeah, I think there's a really good possibility that we see 10 to 30. But I
speaking
definitely
of
3 to 5.
Speaking of price predictions and then going way the fuck past it.
Oh shit. Sorry. Oh, Rob, I didn't know like NBA Top Shot Insider is Rob Scron.
Yeah,
Mr. Flaska. I didn't know that.
Didn't know
sorry,
that
dude. I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know that either because I thought it was Brad as well, to be honest. But yeah. So I don't know if you saw it, but this is a fun way to chill on a Monday morning. Talk about a little bit of gossip. Did you happen to see that like 13-14 minute video that Yves LaRose put out?
But I heard about it. I feel like he just dropped a rock.
Christ.
Did you see that Brock Pierce like came out and created his own fund for EOS now?
Yeah, there's a lot of people are pissed off about that, actually.
Yeah, here's what I want to know. Hey, Luke Stokes wrote a really good article about it. If you don't know who Luke Stokes is, go follow him. I definitely don't agree with him about everyone. He's one of the smartest people I've ever seen on the face of the earth, and thinks about this stuff in a very ideological way, but in a very good way. I really respect like everything the guy fucking says, and he's neck deep in it, right? Like he hangs out with Brock Pierce. He knows the guy personally, right? So he had a really good article that came out on it. So why are people? So again, give me the basics of what happened with this, and then and tell me why people are pissed off.
Yeah, so I'm not so sure about the Brock Pierce stuff. Like I'm not 100% caught up. I just know that there was like a bunch of animosity in it, like coming from a few people, and I think it's just like they feel like he left, and now that things are looking brighter, he came back. It's just a typical, that's high school drama shit, right? Like, and I don't have an opinion on it because I don't know enough about it to say that. But yeah, I mean, but the Yves LaRose EOS Foundation thing, that was one hell of a bomb. Basically, I'm gonna see if I can find it. We should play it later because for those of you that don't know, Corey and I started the show as EOSIO Weekly Update, and we got to the point where we were literally talking about more shit beyond EOS than we were with EOS for a good reason, because like everyone was just talking about EOS, and then we got to the point where we were just like, hey, you know what? Let's interview people from other blockchains too, which is why this show came about. But we used to do this every day, and we used to give EOS a hard time when it deserved it, but like what we said about EOS has nothing close to what Eve just said in this report. Like it's good in the worst of ways, or it's bad in the best of ways, but it can't be on the same page. There's two totally different things. I'll find it. We'll play it.
It is very dichotomous. Yeah, I mean, and again, like Yves LaRose is not fucking around.
No, not at all.
And like what they're doing with Eden OS and with the fund that is very clearly and actively doing things. Yeah. Like I haven't been bullish on EOS for a long time.
Right.
And I'm still like a little standoffish, but like, and it's not just Yves LaRose, right? But because he's got an entire team and they've got a vision, frankly, right?
Yeah.
And you think about the number of vested interests that have token lying around, like block producers and everybody else on EOS that would like to see it become what was kind of signaled and promised, right? And again, there's nothing stopping it from being able to do that. They've got a lot going for them. A lot has already been laid, and of course, like there's the sentiment problem, right? Like people think that it's a dead chain, and yeah, right? But like all you have to do is just make it not be a dead chain, right? And you do that piece by piece by piece. And from what I've seen so far, Yves LaRose is doing everything you could possibly want to do. And honestly, like Blue Dak's going to go over there. Like I guarantee you that's going to happen. Do I know when that's going to happen? No, I fucking don't. But it's definitely going to happen. And to Daniel Day's point, we're 1.3 million away from the Polygon rocket blasting off, which is so far ahead of schedule. Like I have meetings booked over the next 24 hours to start the minting process for Blue on the Polygon side today, and it might be too late. Like, so people might get lucky and slip past it. Like we might pack more fuel in than we intended past the 30 million mark, just because I thought we were going to have another 10 days to get it together, and you guys are like, nah. Like, okay.
Yeah, so that one again, just give us a brief recap. How much do you need and where does it need to go?
So yeah, honestly, Google Arity.com, BlueDAC, and Polygon, right? Because like it's just go read through all that stuff. That because I don't want anyone to screw it up. Long story short, do not send less than 250,000 Blue. If you have less than that and you want to be part of it, find out if NFT Stonkers is still selling those little shares, because he actually just like created a pool that he's gonna like give rewards on and stuff. I loved it so much I bought 100. Like I've got lots that's going to Polygon, but I just wanted to support what he's doing because I think it's genius. And I talked to him, Jimmy, about doing a pro managed fund so that you can just buy NFTs in this fund that he's going to create, and it's just going to pay you every week, and you're not going to have to like harvest or rebalance or anything like that shit. Like I'm going to be supporting the fuck out of that too because I think it's
I don't think we have a guest on NFT Game Day. I mean,
let me see if I can book him. That'd be great.
Maybe we should have him on Friday. That would be good. Because I like funds and bonds and stuff I've been recently looking into on the blockchain. It's interesting. So definitely would like to do that. I'm at the point now where I'm just whatever. Fuck. Any day can be any day. If we want to do Media Moguls on a Friday, that's fine. If we want to do, except for on a Tuesday. On a Tuesday, it needs to be on a Tuesday. Don't mess with our on a Tuesday. But other than that, we can.
I think that's entirely fair. There's rules, man.
And I kind of like Monday morning and chill, but anything else.
I did too. Like when we have guests, it's all right. But when we don't have guests, it's also all right.
Yeah, I like it. We should do some gratitudes though, for sure.
Yeah, let's do that. Hold on. NFT Stonkers Friday. I was gonna try and I'm gonna message him right now just so I don't forget. Not that I forget stuff. Just kidding. I fucking do all the time.
It's good. Yeah. I guess if you guys aren't aware of what's happening with the second part, it should be coming soon. But definitely, if you're not and you're interested in the uplist sale, then get into the Telegram channel because that will be where all the notifications happen first.
Daniel Day's talking about we wheeled into Draco dice. I think actually the I saw something about, and don't hold me to this, but I have a feeling that the Bad Crypto guys are part of that. Like I saw them mention something about it. I hadn't either. I think I saw what's this pickle was tweeting about it. I don't know anything about it, but I mean if they're doing it, chances are it's gonna start at good and go up from there. So I haven't whaled into anything except for Uplift and expansion this month, I think. Well, and like anything NFT Stonkers does. Babs, you were on camera. Oh my god. Why are you sorry? I've been trying to get you on camera for weeks. That was my wife. She just brought me Starbucks because she's a fucking gem.
And you know what? I missed it because I missed it.
Joel. It was Joel's son's project. That's awesome. How cool is that? You know what? He was actually telling me about that too. I did not connect the dice there, Double D. Can I call him Double D? Is that weird?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think you can do. Yeah, I think you can totally do that. He characterized us, so it gives us freedoms that other people might not have.
Right. All right. Hey, I'm gonna turn. Let's keep chatting. I'm gonna turn my camera off because she also brought me a sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich, and I'm gonna eat it. And I feel like it's kind of impolite to do that while the camera's on. Is that weird?
Right? No, it's all right. You can turn your camera off.
All right, cool. I'm still here.
Sure.
And see, every time I do that, it turns this off. I don't know what the hell's wrong with my computer. Anyway, that's my nickname, Double D. Excellent.
I did find this. So let's see if I can play it. The one part that I want to play is really good. But I'll mute it for now. Let's
I'm really grateful for EOSIO generally. It makes so many things possible.
Yeah, me too.
Feel free, by the way, to hit the comments with gratitudes, guys. I'll put them up as we can here. Double D.
I'm kind of grateful for a lot of things today, but like probably mostly, I don't say this often enough, but I'm actually grateful for the uplift world today. Like this community is just flipping awesome, and the team is awesome. I mean,
yeah, I agree, and really like I'm really enjoying that. I'm starting to see how the economics will work enough that I'm sort of being forced to whale into it again. Does that make sense? Like, because I've had, I've been buying land the whole time, right? And we've been doing, stuff like UpLifters Tower, and we've been doing some stuff for fun. But now at the shops and like people, like the sort of economics of scale starting to take shape, and like I was talking to TC about this, but like there's a really, Jimmy, how much should I just drop a hint? Because it might not come out till next year, but I sort of feel like it's super inevitable.
I mean, if next year, you mean December 29th or 30th, the 2 days after that, or if next year, you mean like next year, December 29th or 30th. It doesn't really matter. You should just
our schedule is so stacked. Every time I talk to Chris Tuttle about stuff, and basically we need more people. We need more devs, which is a constant battle. But one thing that I can say that we're going to do with like 90% certainty that we will do it, but I can't tell you when. I'm working on, MVP versions of it before the end of the year, if we can fit that in the dev schedule. If not, it'll be like a very planned and bigger release kind of early next year, I would imagine. But wouldn't it be interesting if you could go in and, do what I'm going to do as an example? I'm going to create a tree farm in Gratitude, just because I like the idea. I don't know if it'll be economically viable, and I kind of don't care. Like, I know it'll have some kind of price, so I'm just gonna go do it. Build a tree farm, harvest that stuff up. Have one of TC's trains of humans come in and pick up all my trees and list them. Buy them up off me and list them in TC's mega store or whatever, right? And so that's pretty fun. But what if, to simplify that, what if the trains aren't running on time, and I really want to get them out to TC in a really fast way? Like, what if for like a 20% burn tax, I could mint those 10,000 trees or blocks of wood as an NFT, and then just send it to TC?
I like that idea. That's fun.
Now, that's all I'm going to say right now, but I want everyone to think that all the way through.
Yeah.
And realize the implications of what comes after that, and after that, and after that, and after that, and after that. And Farmers World can suck it.
None of which we'll have anything to do with, by the way. Just as a disclaimer.
Right. Well, I mean,
we're just saying.
I wasn't gonna layer that hint in there, but that hint is now out there, which is highly entertaining. And like, we're not even gonna do it. Do what, Jimmy? Nothing. Shut up.
Nothing's gonna happen. We're just sending trees. I mean, it's as simple as that. Yeah. I
really do, though, and this is something TC Tuttle and I were talking about, like understanding that. I think that transportation networks are I think they're going to be such a fun and important part of the game mechanics, right? So like anytime you can, hire a player, bring them in, and they can do this useful function for you, even if it's just like, hey, can you ferry like 1,000 wood or 10,000 wood or whatever back and forth from, Corey's new estate to, TC's thing and freaking, Chicken Car or whatever, right? I want to make sure that no matter what we do on the NFT side, that we sort of maintain the economic viability of that as a job. Does that make sense? Right? Because like I really don't want to, in the same way that like auto farms are just inherently dumb for this experiment because they take away from that human element, and that human element is actually all the marbles to me.
Well, and we had a couple people in the Discord today that were like a little bit confused. They came in and they're like, "What the hell? I have to spend like $2,000 just to be able to get into the uplift." I'm like, "No, dude, that's an estate. Like, it's totally different. And you don't even have to, buy a plot if you have someone that can whitelist you." And I was about to talk about, some of the programs, like the Sammy Snake community is doing one, the non-fungible gang, the NFG, they're doing these kind of programs where they're sponsoring people to come into the uplift. And before I even had a chance to write it all out in Discord, wouldn't you know it, there was somebody that was like, "Hey man, are you experienced? Like, you want to come hang out on my land and just have some fun and experience it? But like that way you don't have to buy land, and like you can just I'll whitelist you. Just don't do bad shit." And it was really cool, like, to see that community part of it come along too, right?
That's
so
awesome.
It got me thinking, like, around this idea, right? Like, if Upliftium and Wax rewards are valued enough, then all of a sudden you have people that can come in and they can, get a start on other people's land, or just by wandering around, to eventually potentially, be able to get their own piece of land at, kind of like real life in a way, right? Like, you can come in and you can be a porter for a week, and maybe you can earn enough to be able to do something with it, to be able to get your own piece of land or acquire your own whitelisting or something like that, right? Like, I think in the early days we had this idea that a lot of communities would give their surrounding plots away. But the majority of them have decided not to, and for good reason, I think. Right? Like, you can whitelist people now to those plots. People can build on them, and they can become part of the grand estate in a sense, right? Like, I mean, I'm preferential with the teams of things that I manage, like to generate EOS. We gave one to the Drop Bears Tree Diving Club just because they're doing charity things, and Small Town Cowboy came in and gave a great build. And they're doing something really special over there now. It's still included. And I kind of went with this scenario that's like, okay, you know what? Like, here, I'll whitelist you the plot. If it's something like cool that I like, in a month or two, maybe I'll just turn over the NFT to you, right? And you put the work in. Seriously, it was like 2 days. It was 2 days, and it was like, oh, dude, send me your account. I'm gonna send you the NFT. This is too good. Like, you totally deserve it, right? There's a flipping awesome rusty car over there, man. Like, they built a rusty car. It's really
like
good.
You do. Okay, Jimmy, this is another thought I had over the weekend when TC told me to stop working, so I did, but I kept having an idea, so I kept having to tell people, "Sorry, TC, thank you for telling me to stop." It didn't work, but the sentiment was brilliant. And I think I wonder actually if this wasn't. I think somebody's actually here with me. Hey, Morton, what's up, man? Oh, dude, he's got the freaking digital acid skin on.
Ah, that's awesome.
How cool is that shit?
Nice.
That is righteous, sir. That's awesome. All right, so
it's a bit of an. I mean, it's a bit of an improvement, but I'm gonna miss his old skin. But the new one's pretty good, man. I like it.
It's just like, you got to be a baller to have that, man.
Yeah.
Wee. Mello, 1 sec, please. I'm grateful for surfing. I wish I could, but always wanted to. Hardcore. All right, Jimmy. Oh yeah, so this was the idea. And again, like, I think it might have started with TC. So if I'm stealing this idea from you, tell me, and I will absolutely credit you for it, because for some reason I feel like it came from somebody else. Anyway, it at least partially did. I think it was TC that was talking about, okay, what happens if we put build a building, build a gallery, put in pictures and links to all the NFTs, and then bundle all those NFTs with that piece of land and sell the whole bundle. And I'm like, that's brilliant, right? But then it got me thinking, like, what if, Jimmy, we took submissions all week long, and then once a week we did an auction, right? Maybe only one plot, maybe a couple, maybe three, probably three tops, right? But like any plot. So maybe it's a gallery, maybe it's an art piece, maybe it's a game loop, that somebody builds to sell, so people can come in there. Maybe it's a working tree farm, whatever it is, right? And like, because I don't care what it is, but like all the submissions, we pick sort of the coolest ones, and then host an auction for it and do it live, right? And like do it at the same time every week. People can come in and hang out. People can get and it sort of creates that incentive to create a little bit of churn, right? Where you're trying to create something of value, and then with the clear intent of selling it for profit.
I like it, yeah. And we like going back to the early days where we did have some land flippers. I usually don't like flippers, and sometimes in the uplift I didn't like flippers.
But if you're
either. But when people were coming in
right?
and building houses and putting chests and putting beds down and like giving it like people a home and an established plot, it was really cool to see that. So I like where you're going with that, right? Like there might be people who don't know how to do something, and they can get a plot because somebody who knows how to do it does it and then sells it on auction, and I like it, right?
Yeah, it's fun. Actually, you know what? I haven't done this in a while. This is gonna be my oh, hey, what's up, Morton?
We can call it we can call it auction craft. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so the digital asset thing is pretty cool, right? Like he's released I don't even know what the name of it is. I should see if I can find it.
Like an action figure?
Yeah. But it's an astronaut, right?
I don't think so.
But
I'm probably wrong. I thought the thing was wearing a hoodie. Astronaut would make sense. I got you, Morton.
I saw it on the phone, so it was pretty small. But let me have a look. Let's see if I can find it because it was pretty cool. NFT stonkers. Yeah, those guys are fun.
Yeah.
Called the digital asset.
Why is that going so slow? This is powered, is it not? Oh,
here we go.
Freaking throwing eggs. That guy.
I wonder.
What about auctioning off supplies for survival mode? Yeah, what about auctioning off an NFT that's like a shovel, wink, that if you own that shovel, wink, you could just go in and do stuff, wink. And also, like, I'm gonna stop winking. Like, how many shovels is Farmers World sold for? Like $18 trillion. Jesus H Christ on a cracker.
Right. Yeah.
Here's the thing, TC. Like, why aren't you just doing that?
Yeah, I think TC needs, he needs a whole crew of people to work.
100%.
Because he's got a lot of ideas. So
I've got well over 100 pieces of land. I think probably 120 now, right? And I'm not really doing anything with them, and that feels super dumb. Yeah. So like,
I'm the same way.
I would say probably 60-70% of them are in survival worlds, right? Each one of them should have 5+ people on them, and doing stuff like, I don't know, stuff. You know what I mean?
You could, yeah. I mean,
it's gonna happen.
You could have a contracting crew.
Yeah, see, Double D, it's the same thing. He's got 80. But this is the thing. Like this is, and I mean, this is going to be TC. I know you're super busy, but watch what happens, right? When you start accruing a lot of people in a scholarship program. Actually, you know what? We should talk to NFG about it too. Non-fungible gang. And like guilds will make this a lot easier. That like purpose built, and they're going to come out next year. So like we're moving in these directions, but like how to, do the prototype versions of what we're planning, big infrastructure wise, to come out next year would be really, really interesting. Because yeah, I mean, there's a lot of land fallow, and we want to bring in lots more people. Like this is the way to 2, 3, 4, 5x the number of people that are in the uplift right now. It just requires the people like Double D and me, frankly, and there's some others to get really active in the economic part of it, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, have you seen this? This is pretty freaking sweet.
So that's not an astronaut, right? That's just a dude.
Yeah, you're right. It's not an astronaut. I thought it was an astronaut. I'm sorry. I just because I read Blue Dak, right? It's a Dutchy knot. It says right there, Dutchy knot.
Oh, that's fair, but I wonder if like that's just because like he's not going to space. He's going to space.
I don't know. He's like, yeah, you're right. It's a hoodie. You're right. It's a
hoodie. It kind of looks like a spacesuit. Hold the farm. Like that looks like a spacesuit onesie to me, kind of.
Yeah, I know, right? So he's got like kind of silvery boots. I don't know. I just like, but I get what you're saying. It's maybe not a real astronaut. He's holding a Halloween thing, so he's like dressed as an astronaut for Halloween type of thing.
That makes sense to me. This makes sense. Actually, I don't know if I think I missed the Blue Dak one, which is like to everybody who got one. I mean, yay for you, and also like kind of fuck you a little bit.
Yeah, I think I missed it.
You nailed it. Yeah, I grabbed one of the other ones, the Underdog Dutchy, just because I sort of feel that in my bone parts, sort of. And again, like drops that people do for blue on Nefty, ping me because I really love buying NFTs for blue. It makes me very happy, and we should do it more. Also, Jimmy, like, why don't you and I, like, I know we've talked about this a million times. We start a collection. We make an NFT. Right? We sell that NFT for blue. Right? And then we just, like, I don't know, get all the NFT stunkers things we can possibly get. Like, just ride into the sunset. Here's a question. So I was talking to NFT stalkers about it. And, initially when I saw that thing I was driving about his NFTs that get you on the Polygon rocket, which again, utterly brilliant. And the first thing that I had is like, and there's gonna be a lot of demand for this, is like, man, like, and I messaged him afterwards, could you start an account and sell maybe 10 million blue worth of NFTs, maybe 100K each, because you want to keep it as simple as possible. Still 100 NFTs, right? And create a Blue Dak rig with that, and then just professionally manage it, like harvest it every day, rebalance it every day, and pay out dividends. And he said he can absolutely do that. So like he was thinking about taking the proceeds from it like once a week or something like that. And I was thinking like, what if he rebalanced 100% 6 days a week and paid out 7th day a week, right? Because then it's growing constantly.
Yeah.
Right. And, the underlying asset itself is reinvesting at 6-1. Right. I mean, I actively want that. And he's going to take 5%. Do it every day. I don't give a shit. Right. And maybe he would actually only do it once a week. But like, honestly, whichever one he wanted to do, because it's a lot of work. Right. Like rebalancing a Blue Dak account is a non-trivial, piece of work every day.
Yeah.
And so, it would probably make more sense for him to do it every day.
Well, the only problem with that is, I don't know, it's not really a problem, but the only catch-22 with that is if you want to rebalance your account, you're going to want to pull some stuff out as well as put some stuff in, right? So you got to remember when you pull stuff out, it takes 3 days for the unstaking window too, right?
Well, no, and this is the thing, like you basically, right, because like when you rebalance, I don't think anyone should ever, if you put stuff in, the only time you should take it out is at the end of the month. That's not advice. Someone might figure out a much better way, and be on the lookout for that, right? It's just my personal view on it right now. Just because you lose that 3 days. But again, if some genius comes out with a plan that has a bunch of cool shit layered in or whatever, like I'm entirely open to that, to much better ideas being figured out with what we're building. But like every day you make a little bit of blue, right? And so then you have to make the decision, like, what pool do I want to add to with this blue, right? And that takes some smarts. And if you can, like, I know some people have figured this out already, but like if you could avoid selling into the wax blue pair, I would just take it as a personal favor. Right? There's 22 other options. There's always ways to get into wax from those options. Like, go through. Hey, Brian, you can go through Farmer's Wood or something like that, right? I just want to try and like, because like we're eventually gonna find the balance point, blah 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 blah. But like, if we can reduce every time we can reduce the sell pressure on the blue wax bear, I think it's good for the whole ecosystem. And really, like the best thing to do is get more buyers, which of course is what we're doing behind the scenes 24 hours a day. Anyway, none of that's the point. The point is, like rebalancing all that stuff with all the, daily harvested stuff or whatever, right? And then, on the 7th day, he throws it into his NFT Tonker's, distribution machine, which he has and has tested, and it works really well. And then it just comes out to all the NFTs, right? Like, so you could own 10 of the NFTs and it'll just come all out there as a share. Brian really likes this plug-in strategy. Right, Brian? Yeah. He's like, shut up, Dad. Okay.
That's all I need. But yeah, I think there's going to be, that's the problem is like, I was talking to TC about this as well, and a couple other people about this. Like, I'm going to have to, I think once, spring rolls around, I'm going to have a little bit more time on my plate. I like to think that. But I'm actually going to try to set aside, a few hours every day, 2 or 3 hours every day to just do my shit. Cause like I'm always doing other stuff, right? And I know you're in the same boat as well, right? Like we're working really hard here for Uplift, for Yoshi Drops, for I'm not, but like for you, for Blue Deck, and there's always so much more to do, and there's always more to do. Everything like that we want to improve, that we want to make better, right? Like I was like, there's never any time where I can't be writing something, for example, or like creating a video or reaching out to other cool projects. So I'm thinking about this. I just need to take like, 1 to 2 hours every single day and just be like, okay, this time is for me, right? Like this, like, obviously I need my own time in the real world too, but like this time is for me to do something with an NFT or to do something with a game or to do something with one of my ideas in the space, right?
I wonder if we should do this. This is probably a terrible idea, but I wonder if we should do that live. Right? Like following through, like, no, like from the idea of, the NFT line that is the Corey and Jimmy show, right? Like, and honestly, if I didn't have a meeting at 10, I'd be suggesting we do it after this hour, but maybe with the time change, we do it at 8:00 in the morning. Although like I've got 4 shows I'm supposed to be doing at 8:00 and I haven't. Yeah, because it's tough, man. It really is like getting the I think, and it's not even about waking hours. It's about like brain waking hours, which is an entirely different thing. Please hold while I drink some more coffee. But like, if we did that, TC, thank you. And we can watch, like, this is what it looks like, right? So if we were to do that right now, oh shit, speaking of which, I have a meeting right now, so we're gonna go. God damn it. But we would just be walking through, like, get on Nefty, get the the pinata freaking thing, or just do all that stuff live so people watch it. Now, feel free to stick around. I seriously do have to go because I'm working on the blue stuff that apparently we're gonna need later on today. You freaking degens, holy shit. Yeah, we'll call it easy.
Yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We got a good show lined up for you this week. I forget exactly what the order is, but I can pull it up just before we go. Tomorrow we've got Douglas Butner, who is founder and visionary of CXC, which is kind of a music thing. If you happen to catch our roundtable about the Yoshi Drops music demo, you would have seen him. He was also one of those people that performed over there on the .gem stage alongside some of our Yoshi Drops artists. On Wednesday for Media Moguls, we've got Carlos Estrada. Now, Carlos Estrada, you might not know who he is, but he's got a podcast called Mr. Vigilante BTC. And he's the coin vigilante. And he actually has created this, Bitcoin and Litecoin watch kind of startup. So we're going to have him on to talk about that. And yeah, maybe we might have NFT Stonkers on Friday. I'm not sure. I haven't heard back about that yet. But yeah, that's what we got on the bill for this week. So again, before I go, this is really big. But before I go, I'm actually thinking about playing this out because I think that this would be fun just to listen to that Eve LaRose Foundation update. So I'm actually going to put that on the thing. But I was, I'm excited and surprised at the way that it turned out. But definitely, I think it's something that we can put up and watch. And like I said to you all before, if you have anything to write about at all when it comes to the Uplift world this week, and you do it on, Loop, you can reach out to me if you need to know how to do that. I'm willing to, I'm going to send you some Loop R tokens that you can basically stake to your account. You can get weekly drops if you have engagement over there. But more so, I just want our community to be pushing their awesome content, their awesome builds, and things that we're doing directly here with the Uplift. Now, which window do I want? It's this one. Okay, that's the Chrome one. This one here. There we go. And let's do it this way. And we can watch this because I think it's going to be shocking for some of you, but definitely a great thing to watch. I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but we will watch a portion of it. So here we go.
Foundation, EOSIO, to give us an introduction of the status quo and future vision of the foundation.
Thank you very much, Daisy. And hello, everybody. I thank you very much for coming today. I'm very pleased to be able to speak with you all today and give you an update on what the EOS Network Foundation has been doing over the last 2 months. Essentially, what we've been doing is repositioning and positioning the EOS ecosystem towards the future. Essentially rebuilding a vision that has largely been lost over the last couple of years. I think it's important to give you a little bit of context and background to address the current situation and to assess what went wrong over the last few years. But more importantly, how we plan on taking what we've learned so that we may move towards where we may want to be, so that EOS is more fruitful and more sustainable in terms of growth. There's no sugarcoating it. EOS, as it stands, is a failure. The last 3 years or so have been nothing but dwindling in terms of market cap and in terms of token value. EOS has been a terrible investment. It's been a terrible financial, time, and community investment. The reality is that many people no longer want to be associated with EOS because of its tarnished reputation. EOS, as it stands, is a failure. Since stepping
So yeah, that was the video that we were alluding to. Definitely watch the rest of it because I don't want to play the whole thing. And I want you guys to go over and watch that. But I was a little bit shocked about it. And he goes on to talk about how the EOS Foundation will actually revitalize the whole community in the things that they're doing. So definitely a good one to watch. I'm pretty excited about what's going to come out of this. I think a lot of other people are as well. So, something to look forward to, definitely. I just wanted to play that for you guys because we were talking about it earlier. But yeah, definitely watch it back. Don't buy into the FUD. What these guys are doing in conjunction with Pomelo, EOS Starter, there's a bunch of funding happening over there on the main chain that probably should have happened 2 or 3 years ago. So that's it's going to be really interesting to see how all this plays out. But as far as the Uplift goes, as far as Yoshi drops go, we're over here in Wax and potentially bridging out to some other platforms soon. Legends on Ethereum. We got tons of stuff going on. So definitely tune in next week. Of course, I'll probably be in-game building with the Nasty Hooks tomorrow. Morton, I'm glad you're here. If you want because you usually come and hang out with us on Tuesdays. So let me know if you want to be whitelisted to that Maple Glaze plot, and we'll get that done for you as well. But yeah, anyone else out there, do take care. And yeah, that's it for me today. And thank you very much. See you guys all on